Imagine that your most shameful secret, the one that you never thought would see the light of day,
It's a terrible, horrible thing. Of course.
is suddenly splashed across news headlines everywhere you look. Your reputation is destroyed and your name is trending for all the wrong reasons. The career you spent years building is gone, just like that. You've lost your clients, your customers, your audience, your revenue, and any hope of recovery seems impossible.
But maybe.
For most business owners, that would be the end. They'd vanish, becoming just another casualty of
cancel culture.
But all that isn't a hypothetical. That's exactly what happened to Louis C.K.
All right, you want to talk about it? Should we talk about it?
But his story has a twist. Years before the storm hit, Louis C.K. made one genius strategic business decision that set him apart from everybody else.
And so for me, I mean, I've been doing this since like 2010 when I put my first special on my website. And I like it. I like the feeling of it. Everybody that's bought a ticket to one of my shows or has bought one of my shows is on my email list. So they get told.
Louis C.K. was one of the biggest names in comedy. By 2017, he had become a household name, known for his raw, unapologetic humor and brutally honest stand-up.
If murder was legal or just a misdemeanor, like you get a thing in the mail, ah shit, they had a camera there.
His success was unparalleled. He had won multiple Emmy Awards, including back-to-back wins for his show Louis. His stand-up tour was selling out arenas worldwide. He had multi-million-dollar deals with Netflix and HBO. He was at the absolute peak of his career. But Louis C.K. wasn't just any comedian. He was a trailblazer. In 2011, he revolutionized comedy distribution by releasing his special live at the Beacon Theater directly through his own website for just $5. This bypassed the traditional networks and platforms and proved that a comedian with a direct connection to their audience could be more profitable. This move towards independence earned him over $1 million in just a few days. Louis had it all: the accolades, the industry respect, and a massive loyal fan base. But in 2017, that all came crashing down.
Everybody knows my thing.
Obama knows my thing. Do you understand?
When his scandal broke, Louis was immediately blacklisted. Streaming platforms pulled his specials, his TV deals were canceled, and it seemed like his career was completely over. Most people would have faded into obscurity and have their careers completely ruined. But that's not what happened to Louis C.K. Despite being erased from every major platform, Louis didn't just survive, he came back stronger.
The fuck are we supposed to...
And in this video, I'm going to break down the 3 lessons that helped Louis C.K. overcome that storm. Lessons about control, connection, and consistency that can help any business owner not just survive, but thrive, even when the odds are stacked against you. Lesson number 1, you don't own your audience on platforms. So imagine that you spent years building an audience for your business on social media. You've carefully created content, you've engaged your followers, and your numbers keep growing. But then one day, Facebook changes its algorithm, and overnight, your reach and views plummet. You can't connect with that audience, so the leads into your business disappear and your business starts to actually suffer.
It gave me nightmares.
It's exactly what happened to thousands of businesses in 2018 when Facebook completely overhauled their algorithm. Organic reach for businesses dropped by 60% overnight. So a lot of companies had to learn the hard way that if you build your audience on rented ground, you're at the mercy of the landlord. This is something that Louis C.K. understood years before any of us did.
Streaming service or on any platform, they have their own problems.
Yeah.
And because they're all owned by larger and larger corporations, they can't do anything that wiggles too much. So they have just too many concerns. And that's the way I look at it. It's not like oppression. It's just like they're too mixed in with other shit to be my boss because I want to be able to fuck around and have fun.
While other comedians were trying to get guest spots on TV and getting Twitter likes and Instagram followers, Louis C.K. was quietly doing something different. He was building his own direct line to his fans. At every show on his website and through every touch point with his audience, Louis made it easy and simple for people to join his email list. He understood that if he didn't own the connection with his audience, he was vulnerable.
I wanted to do it myself. It's fun to do it yourself.
Yeah.
Because you watch people react to it and there isn't some company making a decision. It's just an idiot.
By building an email list, he was creating a system that no one, no platform, no algorithm, no streaming service could ever take away from him. Lesson 2. Email is the only way to connect with your audience without gatekeeper. Imagine having a direct line to your audience that no one could take away.
Yeah, I'll go out with you alone at night. What are you, nuts?
No algorithms, no platforms deciding on the worthiness of your content. It's just you and the people who want to hear from you. That's exactly what email and email marketing gives you. Louis C.K. knew this well before his scandal. So when his scandal hit and he got kicked off every major platform, he didn't lose his connection to his audience. He still had their email addresses, and with one click of the button, Louis could reach out to his fans directly, without Netflix, without YouTube, without HBO. No gatekeepers.
I tell young comics that it's actually irresponsible.
I'm 40.
To look at social media and to look at the stuff people are saying about comedy and saying about yourself on social media, because you have a responsibility to your audience. Like when you do stand-up, the people who are in the audience have a fucking vote on my act. Like, they actually have a direct influence. I give a giant fuck about them.
Because of this connection, Louis C.K. sold over 120,000 digital tickets to stream his live show at Madison Square Garden.
Like in New York, there's a lot of homeless people here. I mean, there's a lot of homeless people here. I mean, not in here. There's none in here. There's none in here. There's none in here.
When his special Sincerely Louis C.K. was released in 2020, he did it all through his own platform, making millions in revenue without relying on any streaming service or any ticketing service. Email's powerful because it's yours. It's the only way to maintain control of how you communicate with the people who want to hear from you. If Louis hadn't done this and had been solely reliant on social media, Netflix, and HBO, he would be gone right now. We wouldn't hear from him at all. Lesson number 3. If you maintain a consistent product, you can weather nearly any storm. So if you think about it, what happens when someone gets canceled by the mob? That's mostly it. We never hear from them again. But for those who stay consistent and deliver their best work despite the storm around them, there's always a way through that storm. Louis' 2017 scandal could have and potentially should have ended his career.
I don't know. I don't even mean just gay people. Just some people like when sex is a little fucked up, you know? Some people. Some people like when sex is a little fucked up.
Louis didn't stop doing what he was the best at, stand-up. He kept performing, he kept releasing content directly to his audience, and he stayed true to his style of humor that his fans loved him for.
I mean, he was the worst guy ever, maybe.
Oh, yeah, I hated it.
Right?
And that consistency paid off. Since the scandal in 2017, Louis C.K. has done more than make a comeback. In 2022, his special Sincerely Louis C.K. won the Grammy Award for Best Comedy Album. His talent and consistent output were undeniable. If you're talented and you provide a consistent product that gives value to other people,
and the look on his face, it was just so, it was this beautiful cocktail of anger and confusion. It's like I had invented a new way to hurt somebody's feelings.
you can weather almost any storm. Louis' story shows that no matter how intense the backlash, if you stay true to your craft and maintain a relationship with your audience, people will stick with you. His consistency allowed him to rebuild.
At the mountaintop, a mountaintop is a place you visit. You don't fucking live
there.
You don't live in a tent sucking oxygen. It's actually not fun up there. It's a goal.
Yeah.
But it's not a life.
Even when the platform shut him out, Louis kept creating. He maintained that direct connection to his audience, but most importantly, he kept delivering comedy at the highest level. For business owners, the same lesson applies. If you consistently provide value for your audience, they will stick with you. It doesn't matter what external forces you face, whether it's an algorithm change, a public opinion, or maybe even your own scandal.
Here's some advice that really only I can give you.
Louis C.K.'s story is more than a tale of cancellation and comeback. It's a powerful reminder of the importance of control, connection, and consistency. We've seen how his career skyrocketed through the platforms that made him a star, and how quickly those same platforms cut him off when his scandal broke. But what allowed Louis to rise again wasn't a stroke of luck. It was his understanding that you can't build your future on rented ground. By owning his audience through email, staying directly connected, and continuing to produce the same consistent product that his fans loved, Louis weathered that storm and came out stronger on the other side.
If I read something by somebody who didn't come to the show, who doesn't go to comedy shows, who's reacting to something that was written about a show, a person who wrote it to get clicks, somebody who's professionally disgruntled and says this was a bad show, and then somebody tweets, yeah, fuck that guy, and I'm letting that person outweigh the rights of my audience, it's irresponsible.